Hey, you know what? It's time once again for a red eye. Where are they now? Surely you must recall this special video.
After this video hit in 2009, dancing Chihuahua Booby Gonzalez skyrocketed to fame on the international salsa circuit. Soon after, he was invited on Dancing with the Stars, but turned it down upon hearing his partner would be Gwyneth Paltrow. A week later, he suffered a career-ending hamstring injury during a jet ski accident while vacationing with Johnny Depp. He now sells life insurance in Absecon, New Jersey. This has been a Red Eye. Where are they now?
Sad. Tragic.
Kind of sad, huh?
The more you learn.
The more you learn, the more you cry.
I like seeing that underbelly, though.
I don't think there's anything better than that.
Yeah.
All right, do I have time for my Gregalog? Why don't you move the damn thing? Okay. Sorry.
Hey, I hope everybody's in the holiday spirit.
I apologize. I just lost my temper. I apologize. So the
Maybe
Gregalog.
you need a 3-week sabbatical.
I certainly do, Rebecca.
Yes.
With that dancing dog. All right, the Gregalog, it's a pill of perfection in a pharmacy of failure. So now that the so-called centrist movement, No Labels, has launched, I've noticed a change in the air. People are nicer. The polarization that would mar a conversation seems to have been replaced by a joyful citizenry conducting dialogue with verve and lightheartedness. Just outside, I saw a small black child smiling. And we owe all of this, not to the American people, but to those important media types who know better. The Frums, the Brooks, the Galstons. Yes, I said it, the Galstons. Only weeks ago, William A. Galston had written that No Labels, quote, will establish lines that no one should cross. Politicians, media personalities, and opinion leaders who recklessly demonize their opponents should be on notice that they can no longer do so with impunity. Yep, there's a new sheriff in town, and he's wearing a sundress. Sorry, No Labels may be the most un-American thing since soccer. Telling us they will, quote, establish lines no one should cross? A bunch of hacks telling the rest of us that we are on notice? To that I say, ha, followed by ha-ha. So who are they targeting? It's not politicians. Those weren't the ones holding the signs. So it has to be the American people, the ones who spoke up. So this manufactured BS is really another smug reaction to the Tea Party, i.e. the train that left without him. And also, more than a few of these No Labels snots have done some polarizing of their own. There's one who wrote a book called Wingnuts, and another who claims he coined Axis of Evil. Goof pickles, I say. Yeah. Anyway, thank God for No Labels. You can go there on Twitter right now. Its sole mission, to demonize No Labels with incendiary rhetoric. Yep, it's a hate group, and we couldn't be happier or hatier. And if you disagree with me, then you are worse than Hitler. That guy. DeVore, you are a left-wing pinko, and I am a right-wing Aryan lovebird. But we can agree that these centrists we would like to punch in the face.
Totally. I mean, first of all, No Label sounds like one of those anti-drug campaigns in high school. The problem with the thing with No Labels is it's filled with moderates that have no balls.
Yeah.
Because the only way to break gridlock is for people who are mature enough to know that life is compromised, is to then turn to the partisans in their party and beat them with sticks.
Yes.
These ideological fanboys have to be brought to heel, and I want people who want to compromise to have balls. That's all I want.
But that's what they are. That's exactly who those people are. They're the ones that are going to the freaky ideologues and saying, calm the F down. Let's
No, these are just
compromise."
media
They
hacks.
start the No Label party, but what they should be doing is internally breaking heads.
Well, by starting the No Label party,
No.
aren't they labeling people
Yeah,
by
it's
saying
definitely,
that
it's a paradox.
Well, it's
like
hypocrisy.
an anarchist club. It's
It's
really,
Yes.
hypocrisy at its best.
Yes, and by labeling, they're racist.
yes.
Yes, I believe that too. If we didn't demonize each other, Paul, why bother having beliefs?
You're an ass. Next.
All right, Bill. You can't afford anything with a label, so this story doesn't even apply to you.
They can't either. They had T-shirts on the website, and they stole the designs from other websites. They actually, yeah, they took all the T-shirts down.
I had to apologize.
Because they didn't do the obvious as far as their political mascot is concerned.
And by the
a donkey-elephant hybrid, a donkafant. You take a little donkey, you take a little elephant, you combine them together. Now, here's the thing. Breeding donkey elephants in America, illegal. But they can find pictures of some in Europe. Those crazy Europeans.
Oh, God, remember that trip we went on? Okay, coming up. Should attractive children be used as throw pillows? John DeVore on his new home decorating ideas. But first, hey, is that tape of the Miss America pageant? Why, yes, it is. So I guess that means we're doing a story on the Miss America pageant. Wow, someone got an A in obvious. Screw you, imaginary person. Should soccer fans stay away if they happen to be gay? Or should they just zip up when they're at the World Cup? FIFA boss, what a funny name, Sepp Blatter, well, that's funnier, had some sage advice when asked what gay soccer fans should do after entering the anti-gay country, Qatar, when it hosts the World Cup in 2022. Here he is at a Monday press conference.
Then I would say then that they should refrain from any sexual activities.
Oh, you big bear. Blatter qualified his blather by adding, quote, we are living in a world of freedom, and said some other crap I chose to ignore. But overlooking Sepp's lame attempt at humor, the reporter did raise a good question. What should gays do when visiting lands that hate their glands? For more on this, let's go live to Fox News Christmas correspondent Drunkadary, the eggnog-loving camel. Drunkadary? Everybody was fine.
After the roast.
Not the vodka bottle. The vodka bottle he consumed was not fine.
Camel barbecue.
Never be drinking before the mass. Paul, should gay soccer fans go to Qatar precisely because of the prejudice?
They should not only go, but they should grow 3 or 4 penises so that they can have sex with people to their right and their left and in front of them at the same time.
I don't think that is possible. I don't think that's possible.
If you could have an elephant-donkey combination, you can have that.
That is true.
Those are two entirely different things.
This is ridiculous. I mean, do they really think that gay people this far out are planning their sexual activities? They have a calendar out for 2022. Okay, I'm in section F6. Woohoo! This is where it's all going to happen.
First of all, I don't know why this country is so obsessed with what people do in their bedroom, number one. But number two, if you're going to go to a country, and if it's against the law, you should adhere to the law. Now, would I want to go to a country that's anti-black? No.
You're in it.
Oh, Paul, how dare you, sir?
I'm not saying I am, but there's racism in this country.
No, there's racism on this table.
No,
And there's sexism in
you
this
told me in the
country, too,
commercial break to say that to her.
Oh, I'm going to get back on my point, Paul. I'm just going to forget you said that, okay?
right, okay.
Is that okay? Can we do that? Can we
love
make
you.
that deal?
I love you.
I love you too, sweetheart. Okay. But the thing is, if you go, I wouldn't go to a country that was anti-black. So if a country's anti-gay, why even go?
Yeah.
Is it worth the fight?
Yeah. And by the way, it's soccer. That's not even a real sport,
Not
John.
even played by human beings.
No,
It's
it's
not
done by
elves.
robot elves. Robot elves
They
that
didn't play
stink.
soccer. Look, I'm glad that I'm going to protest a sport I never watch.
Yeah.
Why was this country even picked? Didn't they also pick Russia?
Yes.
You know, the country that is run by gangsters,
Yeah.
according to
They
Wikipedia.
Be careful. They're also in Brooklyn. Be very careful.
Look, I don't even know why they picked Qatar. I mean, it's like an insult to free countries everywhere, and to gays who have fought for decades for rights. It shouldn't even have been picked.
Yeah. Bill, the joke was kind of like the gays wouldn't be able to control themselves in public. Is that
Well,
what the
that's
joke
what they
was?
think. John Amici, former NBA player, red-eye guest, and gay as a delightful little gay NBA player.
Is he out? Are you
Yes,
out? Is
very
he out?
out.
Okay.
He's out nowhere near my apartment. Can't emphasize that enough. But he brought up a good point. Everyone knows that these guys aren't going to be out having sex in public. But the guy, basically what he's saying is don't act gay, period. Don't hold hands, don't share a bed, don't do any of that. And that's
get
kind of
beheaded.
that's kind of crappy. I'm with Paul. Make this country so gay that it's not just Qatar, it's
Oh.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Unnecessary and
I
will
think
never
it was.
be heard.
I think it was.
It will never be heard, that
It meant
part.
nothing. It's just
will
another
not
way of
show
calling
up.
the country.
It will not show up on the show.
But if people go out there and they act gay, as you say, if
And
they
what's
go
that
out in the
even-
protests, if
Right.
they do that, will they be in danger?
Well, that's a
what
good
will
que-
happen
I
to
think
them?
that's okay, but I think
Will there be more gay
my
bashing?
question is.
Do you mean
like-
act gay is just holding
Well,
hands with their
I don't
boyfriend?
know. I
I hold hands with my
So
straight friends all the time.
like if you're at the game and you start singing a show tune,
No,
are
you're
you arrested?
terrible.
Right.
You are terrible,
No,
sir.
that's what she
No,
meant
but
by saying.
that's right though. It seems like what would define that? I mean, you know,
Exactly.
we're
What
gonna-
is
In
Yes.
some
So
circles,
open
Paul's
to
lips
turn.
are considered gay. Would he not be allowed there? Would he not be allowed
Which
there?
circle
Greg?
exactly is that?
He makes it delightful, sir.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Do you have a comment on the show?
How did it come down on me again?
It always does come down on you.
Or vice versa.
All right. Email us. It's redeye@foxnews.com. You know, these were serious stories when we were talking about them
And
in
there's
the meeting.
serious times.
We're very-
And there's serious
You know,
times.
we're talking about, cancer and homophobia, politics, Muslim.
dunk offense.
Yes,
Dunk offense.
dunk
By
offense.
the way, your butt looks great.
Ah, thank you. See, leave a voicemail on my direct line, 212-462-5050. Still to come, the halftime report from TV's Andy Levy.
Tonight's halftime report is sponsored by First Dates, the initial social engagement between two individuals that usually has a romantic character. Thanks, First Dates.
Welcome back. Let's find out if we've got anything wrong so far. For that, we go to TV's Andy Levy. So, Andy, what's shaking?
It's an Eddie Money song from the 1982 album No Control, but that's not important right now.
Oh, it's important to me.
Yeah. Also, I'm on Bloodline 6 on Infinity Blade.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. Yep. Aaron Brockovich was a crock, whatever. Paul, you asked, when does it become a bad thing that there's no increased rate of cancer? Yeah, it's only a bad thing for you and your Hollywood cronies. For the rest of us, it's good news, sir.
Well, I just feel like someone has to defend the cronies. If I don't, who is going to do that?
Yeah.
First they came for the cronies.
Yes.
Yep. By the way, whether or not Pacific Gas and Electric is responsible for people in Hinckley getting cancer, it is responsible for this movie getting made, so it has a lot to answer for.
Don't you think Julia Roberts should give $20 million or whatever she made back to PG&E?
I think she should give back her Oscar, Greg.
I think she should too.
Yep, I think she needs to pull a Reggie Bush. Mm-hmm. You don't know what that means, do you?
Nope.
Yep.
But we'll probably have to bleep that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. The sad thing is, Greg probably does think we have to bleep that.
No, that's not true. I know Reggie Bush is an athlete who received the Heisman Trophy.
Exactly.
Are you going to the World Cup soccer
Oh,
in
you're
Qatar
terrible.
with that?
Greg, you said you took chromium from, what was it, 2000 to 2006 or 8?
Off and on for a couple
Yeah.
of private personal studies I was doing in my bedroom.
What you failed to mention is you used to be 6'2".
I think he's saying you're short.
Yeah, but you know where all the height went to, Andy.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a nice trade-off.
His knees.
I don't
Yes.
follow. I don't follow at all. Yeah.
Now you're not a follower.
John, you asked who is at fault here. Well, the makers of Aaron Brockovich are, obviously, right?
Clearly, you're not a fan of Soderbergh?
No, I'm actually a huge fan of Soderbergh. In fact, I would say that a guy who directed in the span of 4 years, it was like, what, The Limey, Out of Sight, Brockovich,
Schizopolis.
Traffic. I'm not a, but he had a track record going for like a span of 4 years where he was the most consistently good director we had.
When did this become
And then,
out at
and
the
then
movies?
Ocean's 11. Excellent movie.
And also, yeah, and I would even throw Solaris in there, John. I enjoyed the Solaris.
But Andy,
Hey, are you going to make your thumbs up picks at the end of the show or what?
I am going to make my thumbs up pick at the end of the show, but it's going to have nothing to do with movies.
Andy, when Soderbergh partnered with George Clooney to do K Street, this documentary of Washington D.C. and lobbying,
Sure.
it sucked.
Did it?
It was
I
bad.
never saw it.
It was bad. So
Yeah. All
no,
right.
so he wasn't like on this, big creative.
He made that
there.
horrible porn movie.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him, though. He had such promise.
He
Yeah,
did.
Well,
Yeah. Justice Department sues school that wouldn't let a teacher take time off for the Hajj. John, you said if someone from the 700 Club said they wanted to go take a 3 weeks leave to go to Dollywood, this wouldn't even be a story.
No, it wouldn't.
Well, I agree, because it would have been denied, but the Justice Department never would have sued the
I don't know if
school.
it would have been denied. Look, if
Of course it would have been
if
denied.
you're for religious freedom, you're for religious
This is
freedom.
not-
If you're for,
I'm not. I don't think religious freedom means you get to take 3 weeks off your job in the middle of your job.
I think you can make, based on religious grounds, you
Nah.
can make a reasonable argument for why you can take a leave of absence
Nah.
for no money.
Do your job or don't do your job, man.
Right.
I mean
you know what?
you, John, not the teacher.
You know what? I'm going to cancel Christmas and Easter and Yom Kippur, and
on.
Scientology Day.
Not
Now
Scientology
you've,
Day.
now you've got too far.
Oh my God.
How will we worship
There's
Xenu?
a Black Ops guy.
The alien tree.
By the way, this woman says her civil rights were violated, but she says, quote, or she says, based on her religious beliefs, she could not justify delaying performing Hajj. But Islam doesn't demand that you perform the Hajj every year. It says it has to be carried out once, at least once in your lifetime.
Yes,
I
and
think
she's
she
like
was-
29 or 30. She had plenty of time to do
It
this.
smacks of
Exactly.
somebody trying to make a point.
That's my. I think there was a
No, I think
political.
you're right.
There's a political
There's an
agenda behind
agenda.
this.
And the
You're
Justice
absolutely right,
Department-
Paul. I agree with you completely this time.
And
Give
the
me the
Justice